langchainexperimental.chatmodels.llmwrapper.chatwrapper summary. Nan. A wrapper around a chat model that allows you to use it with the chat interface. This means that you can use the chat wrapper to interact with different chat models in a consistent way, without having to worry about the specific details of each model. Component 1. Chat model. This represents the actual underlying chat model that the chat wrapper will use to generate responses. It could be any chat model that implements the generate response method. Callbacks. These are optional functions that you can use to observe or modify the behavior of the chat wrapper. For example, you could use a callback to log the messages that are being exchanged between the chat wrapper and the chat model, or to modify the prompt that is sent to the chat model. Verbose. This determines whether the chat wrapper will print information about its actions to the console. This is helpful for debugging purposes. Component 2. Chat model. This is a private attribute of the chat wrapper that stores a reference to the underlying chat model. It is used internally by the chat wrapper to interact with the chat model. Callbacks. This is a private attribute of the chat wrapper that stores a list of callbacks that will be executed during the interaction with the chat model. Verbose. This is a private attribute of the chat wrapper that determines whether the chat wrapper should be verbose during execution. It inherits from the base chat class, which provides a basic interface for interacting with chat models. The chat wrapper implements the call method, which is responsible for handling user requests and returning responses. When you call the chat wrapper with a user prompt, it passes the prompt to the underlying chat model, generates a response, and then returns the response to the user. It simplifies the process of using chat models with the chat interface by providing a consistent and easy-to-use way to interact with different chat models. This makes it easier for you to write code that can work with a variety of chat models without having to rewrite your code for each model. Provides a consistent interface for interacting with different chat models. This means that you can use the same code to interact with different chat models, without having to change your code. For example, you could use the chat wrapper to interact with both the OpenAI API and the Hugging Face Transformers library. Allows you to use the chat interface with any chat model that supports the generate response method. This means that you can use the chat wrapper to interact with a wide variety of chat models, including both publicly available models and custom models that you have trained yourself. For example, you could use the chat wrapper to interact with a model that you have trained on a specific domain of knowledge. The wrapper may need to be updated if the underlying chat model changes. If the underlying chat model changes its API, the chat wrapper may need to be updated to work with the new API. This is because the chat wrapper relies on the underlying chat model's API to function correctly. The wrapper relies on the underlying chat model to be able to generate responses. If the underlying chat model is not able to generate responses, then the chat wrapper will not be able to generate responses either. For example, if the underlying chat model is offline or has an error, the chat wrapper will not be able to generate responses.